Hello everyone, it's me Nirupama again, and today I would be talking about turbocharging your productivity with our special guest Puja. Puja is a life coach from Chennai, and she's going to be enlightening us that how could we raise our productivity to a new bar altogether. Hi Puja.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Nirupama.
Puja, I wanted to know that, in this busy world, how can we concentrate and how can we have a laser-like focus? Can you tell the audience about that?
Sure. So I can tell you what I do. The first thing in the morning is to create a me time and do my meditation. I know there are days when I've not done my meditation and it feels so different from the time when I have done my meditation. It doesn't need to be long. I call meditation the salt in the food, You don't have to if you put lots of salt, then that's all you'll taste. If you don't put it, then you won't get the yumminess of the food. So it's that 20 minutes in the day is just perfect. And then somehow when your mind quietens, I feel like your focus really does get laser.
Wow, meditation is the key. Now we move to our next question, Puja. How can we manage our time well? Can you just share some tips on that?
I think the most important thing is to balance the urgent and the important. See, being a woman in India and having so many roles to play, being a mother, being a wife, being a daughter-in-law, I think that's always the battle that we are fighting. So I always make sure that the most important things of my life get done in the first half of the day. Otherwise, I know that they'll keep getting postponed. So let's say I'm trying to write a book right now. I must do that before I hit noon. Because if I don't do that, other people's priorities become my priority and then I just flow into the flow of urgency. So, the earlier you get up, the more you can achieve. By the time everyone else starts to surface, you've got lots done. I think that really helps.
Puja, how important is consistency? Do you think consistency plays a great role in success?
I don't know any other way of doing it. Honestly, I think consistency is undervalued tremendously. I think the power of compound effect is far greater. Do less but do every day, and that I think has far greater results than we trying to get it all perfect. You can't exercise for an hour, exercise 20 minutes. You can't write your 20 gratitudes, write at least 2. You can't say your prayers, do a mantra. Do something every day, and that build up in total is so huge that you don't really need to get it perfect from the day one of sitting on the cycle. Fall a few times, get your way through. I think without consistency, no one ever made anything of themselves.
Wow, that's a wonderful learning. Next, Puja, I want to know, you're playing so many roles in your life. So how do you discipline yourself? So can you say something on discipline, self-discipline?
Absolutely. So that's a place where I've struggled all my life because I call myself the progressive lazy. It means that whenever I can find rest time for myself, I will find rest time for myself. So it's very important to honor yourself when you are playing that many roles because you can only give what you have. And I think women in particular get very guilty if we are not there for everybody, which is why it is all the more important to love yourself even more. So I always try to do at least 2 to 3 things that give me joy in the day so that I am filled with joy and then everyone around me gets my joy rather than get we can get into nagging, we can get into shouting, screaming, frustrated. So I know the days I am, my voice is going above a certain pitch with my children and my staff, I'm not in the right frame of mind. That means I need to go do something that gives me joy and then only I like to play my roles. And then when you're a little guilty, actually you do your role even better.
So that's a self-check onto yourself.
Totally.
Puja, a lot of times it's told to us that we should be setting our goals. So what is the art of goal setting according to you?
The simple way of doing goal setting is how much by when. Let's say, I want to be 56 kgs and by when? Okay, 31st December. So if my 5-year-old child can also see that, okay, it's 31st December, mom, get on the weighing scale, how much are you? that's measurable, right? So you want to make it simple. The thing is, we've complicated this entire self-help industry so much that people are losing their way because there's so much to do. Instead of getting overwhelmed with the stuff we are actually supposed to do, now we are overwhelmed with what is supposed to reduce our overwhelm. So I think just keep it simple. How much ByWhen works fabulously. Instead of writing losing 5 kgs, because then how do you measure it? Because no one knows where you started out. Write the exact amount and ByWhen, and you'll be just fine.
Wow, short and sweet. How much by when? Please write it down. Next, Puja, I'll be talking about some of the bottlenecks, that take away our productivity. So, a lot of times they say that poor self-esteem is what drives away productivity. So, can you speak something about that?
I think poor self-esteem drives away life itself. I mean, if you don't have, that's the fuel. Like the car can't move without the petrol. I don't think life can move without self-esteem. It's something of so much importance that we need to focus on, keep building our self-esteem so that when we are going through life, life is going to keep giving us challenges and problems. To handle those, you need that level of power, and the power comes from self-esteem. So I think that's absolutely essential to build your self-esteem, to truly make life happen for you. And I think one of the fastest, easiest ways to build your self-esteem is to remain grateful in life. The minute our energy goes into complaining and blaming, we've left our gratitude and appreciation, we're tend to going to fall. I stand in front of the mirror and do this very weird dance every morning, and that's basically my self-esteem check. If I can laugh at myself, I know I can go about the world doing a good job. If I'm not able to do that, that means my ego's in the way and I'm not able to deal with my day. Then I take my time to fix it. Until I don't fix it, I don't go to work.
Wow. So, all of you watching this, I would recommend you to start dancing crazily in front of the mirror.
That's a great way to check actually how you're feeling, because I think to be able to laugh at yourself and not take life too seriously is one of the big aspects of having high self-esteem.
So how do we manage stress and anxiety in today's world? We have so much of stress and anxiety all around.
I think different people, different answers. So it's very important to know what helps you. Music can help you, long drives can help you. I think just making time for yourself in this busy world. I always say women can never function on plan A. We are always working on plan B. What does it mean? Basically that, yes, I wish my children would be tucked away and my husband would manage himself and my house would somehow manage themselves and I could only focus on. But that's not an option at all for women. We know we have to always multitask. So I think the best way to do it is to always keep seeing, okay, now I'm getting anxious or now I'm getting stressed about something. Take your time off, put that smile back on your face, come back to attend to whatever it is you need to. Because keeping yourself in that being is far more important than the doing that we've gotten busy with.
Truly. So next, I would like to talk about fears. So many times, fear acts as a dampener. We are not able to achieve a lot of things in life that we could.
Absolutely.
Because fear comes in the way. Yeah. So how to drive away that fear?
Fear is one of my favorite topics. I always call it resistance because fear can show up in so many forms. So the big one is resistance of any sort. I think resistance knows how to play with our mind. There's one life we live and there's one life that's within us which we know we want to live. And I think to truly go down that route, you have to start to recognize it. I think awareness becomes the number one thing. Mm-hmm. And secondly, you have to honor it. There's a purpose of fear in our life, and I think if we don't honor that, there are people who want to get rid of it. Like they shouldn't feel it at all.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really possible. I think honoring fear and making sure it's on the back seat of your car and not in the driving seat works just fine. So just own it, honor it, and say, you know what? Chill, I know how to do this.
Wow.
And put it at rest. But know that it's going to travel with you all through. Mm-hmm. You might get rid of one fear and then the next one shows up. Truly. So it's a partner, better you become friends with it.
Thank you, Puja. Next, I would like to say, a lot of times we are overcommitting to people, like who are working in so many domains, like in your personal life, in your professional life, there's so many commitments. Right. So how do we get away from overcommitting?
Superb. In our house, we actually have something called the commitment jar.
Okay.
Which is basically anybody who said something and didn't follow it up has to put money into it. Mm-hmm. And guess who puts the maximum money?
You?
Yeah. Having children, having my husband around, I'll be like watching a serial. I'll say 5 minutes, beta, I'm coming to your room. And it'll be 25 minutes without me even realizing, and they'll be like, Mama, money. So I think over time what's happened is that we've just all of us as a family become so aware of the fact that, you know, commitment's important, especially to people who don't matter.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we keep our commitments with the people who matter, but what about all of our commitments to our children, to the staff, to people where we know we can somehow take them for granted?
Yeah.
And I think those are the ones we love the most, and they receive the least from us.
Truly.
So I think that in my family, as we changed that, I thought lots got changed. And instead of teaching the children to be honorable or honest and all of that, I think this commitment jar thing, till today, it's almost like understood that if anyone's made any promise in my family, it's going to get done, because you know, everyone's got so attuned to it that I don't even remember the last time I opened the jar to put money now in the last 1 or 2 years, because everyone's kind of got synced into it.
Absolutely. So everyone watching out there, I would suggest you should have a commitment jar. Finally, the last question, Puja, that how do we drive away our distractions? Because there's so many distractions coming to us from all the directions. So how do we drive away those distractions?
I think the more clarity we have on why we are doing what we are doing, distractions automatically reduce.
Yeah.
It's when we lose our path and our purpose, that's when distractions can really off track us. So I think the most important thing is every day read your vision, know where you're going, know what the purpose of your life is. If not purpose, at least things that give you joy. And as much as you can focus on them. And I think it's a cyclical.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes distractions are more and sometimes not. And when it becomes more, make sure you attend to it and remove them. Like, you know, give up watching videos on YouTube for a month.
Yeah.
Give up Facebook, whatever doesn't serve you.
Yeah.
For some time, leave it for 21 days and then get back to it. At least the addiction is not there.
Absolutely.
But definitely these days, I really feel bad for the generation that's coming in, because they truly have a lot of distraction and they really need to understand distraction management. My generation skipped that bit, so we still kind of like know where we're going. But everything happens for the good. I believe that.
Thank you, Puja. This conversation with you was very insightful. I would want you to give some final comments and tell the viewers about your programs. I mean, if they want to contact you, how could they do that?
Sure. So my website's www.pujapuneet.com. And my company is called Life by Design. I in particular help women to truly design their life. I believe it all starts from home, that you actually manage your house first, your family, then you move on to your career and confidence. So each pillar I help women with, and I absolutely love what I'm doing because I went through all of this and have emerged from there. So I'm as much student as teacher.
Wow. Okay, we'll be coming with some more videos. Till then, bye-bye. Take care. Love you all.
Ciao. Love you. God bless.